Hello, it's Mark again, helping you to understand English grammar, and we are still in Chapter 4 here. Now, the main things that you need to be looking at in Chapter 4, of course, the modal auxiliaries, the verb forms, and this final really important thing, which is called the Verb Expansion Formula. Now, that's how you figure out what exactly is happening with this whole long verb phrase. Can you pan over this way for me, Kenny? What it is it's just a little way of going through the sentence, always in the same order, to decide what's happening and when it's happening and whether it's been completed or whether it's an issue of possibility or a condition and things like that that are all expressed in our verbness. And it looks like this. You start with a tense. That means it's either past or present, and it must be there. The next thing you see is whether or not the verb string has a modal auxiliary. That's why it's in parentheses, because sometimes it doesn't have a modal auxiliary. Then you see whether there's a have plus the en ending of your verb, which would make it one of your perfect tenses. That's optional too. It might be there, it might not. Then you see whether there's a be plus the ing form of the verb, which would make it your progressive form of your verb. And then you have your main verb. It's a little explainy and a little abstract right there, so let's just take a look how we would do the verb expansion formula on this one that we looked at earlier. Bring this over here. What's your verb again, brah?
May or have.
May, have.
Planning.
What's the verb? The whole thing is the verb. Say it.
The whole thing's the verb.
Read it.
May have been planning.
All right, now we're going to apply the verb expansion formula to your verb here. Is may, is that, let's look at our modal auxiliaries. No, you don't need to pan over there, just take a look. Is may, is that past or present?
That is present.
Okay, now, do we have a modal auxiliary in this sentence?
Yes.
All right. Do we have a have plus an en ending?
Yes.
All right, and our en ending is the en of the next auxiliary, as it turns out. So we put have plus en. And do we have a be and an ing acting as auxiliary units, right? Here's our be right here, and there's our ing right there. So that's be. And then what is our main verb?
It is planning.
All right, or just plan in the base form. That's it. Now, that's one of the things you want to do every time you identify a nice long string of verbs. Even if it is just simple present, what would it be? It would be present plus run, as we looked at earlier, if that's your main verb. Now, we're going to move on to practice doing some diagramming and some identifying the verb expansion formula for some practice sentences in the next video. So we'll see you at the last part of Chapter 4.